Okay, folks, tinfoil hat time, and I apologize for my quarantine hair. It is quarantine hair. You understand? Yeah, so that's going to be the hair for this video. I'm going to be brief. I'm going to make it brief because in my past videos I've discussed the tinfoil hat, all the wild nature of what I believe regarding the FBI and the treasonous actions and the attempting removal of a president and why. Um, but I actually really briefly going to discuss what I believe is a more nefarious idea. Now, there's been a lot of people in government and in institutions being arrested for collusion with China, the CCP, and whatnot. Think Confucius, think Thousand Talents program. Now, the thing about these ideas are that they were aspects of controlling through financial and enrichment of certain individuals. Now, let's just say, here we go. Let's just say there's a crazy conspiracy to unite the world government under the UN using climate control and also using the supply demand needs of a epidemic, pandemic, to consolidate control, with China having most of the resources as we've now discovered. Now, the, I'm going to bring this back to a second. I'm going to go to the idea of the true conspiracy. Now, we talked about Nancy Pelosi and the impeachment efforts. And the impeachment efforts, what was one of the strange things of the impeachment is not the fact that he got impeached, which was also strange, but also part of the plan, which we understood is why they did it. But the strange thing was the urgency of needing it done before Christmas, right? And then the strange thing about how Nancy Pelosi held the impeachment papers. Okay, so here's the conspiracy, and I'm just gonna get it out. I'm saying that there is a connection between the CCP and the shadow deep state government of our country. Okay, they believe in the American dream, which is money and capitalism. And Ayn Randian Fountainhead thoughts of achieving for yourself, pulling yourself up by the bootstraps. Combine that with a idea that there are people that aren't as good or as deserving or of certain intelligences and whatnot. Now, here in America, we try to say we don't have that. We do have racism and whatnot. In China, it is represented as we see the ostracization of African Americans or black people. Let's just say black people. Let's do a catch-all Africans, whatever. Actual Africans. When I say Africans, I mean black people in general. African Americans, I was describing. I'm considered, and then anyway, doesn't matter. We can highlight how that the Chinese folks were not too happy with people of melanated skin. Let's just say that. Um, so here's the scam. They were going. The plan was between the deep state and China. The plan was to get him impeached, have the virus hit, have all these measures need to be put in place in terms of lockdown, the change of everything, then have a fractured impeachment hearing, but it's very most important during this time, in order to kind of obfuscate from the shady dealings, in order to remove Trump, and then they want to remove Pence, or at least just move Trump. Okay, Pence is a whole other thing, but I think what happened is that they had this plan. It was going to be a beautiful attack, beautiful attack. You have the impeachment. You have people distrusting. We have to do this work because there's distrust. We can't believe in him, the president. So therefore, oh, now there's a pandemic, and now he's making we how can we believe in a person who's being impeached and dealing with this? I mean, what's going on? Okay. What happened? And also, I want you to remember during December how everybody was sick, along with the antibody tests that came out here in New York. Meaning that a lot of people were sick for a long time since before. So now think about the Chinese. Like they're like, okay, all right. So it's okay if we give you this disease, and you want to use it so that we can all gain control. Yes, that's great. Now the problem is, I don't think the Chinese, and they said this, the Chinese didn't come out with the information on it soon enough, right? And that's because they didn't want to, because we are in a war, and a bug that wipes out, unnoticed for a while during Christmas time, that wipes out the population of, according to the Fauci models, 2 million or more. If it was definitely, like, I don't think they minded not sharing the information with the world for a longer time, because tactically it's a brilliant move. And the Democrats, or the people who were running the impeachment, were trying to wait for the chaos, but the Chinese allowed the chaos to go unheard to affect more casualties. Where's Nancy Pelosi? I'm glad we're all coming back. I had to get that off my chest. I know it was a little, I don't think it was too rambly. Now maybe we'll start rambling a little bit. If you want to engage with this concept of a unified global takeover, and the Chinese being real sneaky, the CCP, and the Chinese people, or American Chinese, but the CCP, and the monies that have been utilized for the creation and preparation of propaganda and ideas, you get it. Be well, and I guess the one thing, I'll end on a good note. Donald Trump has been winning all the slings and arrows, and at the end of the day, he said he let the governors choose, and he didn't become a dictator like a Whitmer could have done. And I believe if Hillary Clinton were in office, using the fear that we are seeing under Trump with this pandemic, I think that we would be more likely to stay inside longer, and we would have lost the fighting spirit that makes us great. And I say us, I mean people. I can say Americans, cool, but I do think it's for everybody across the globe. I mean, you see everyone fighting. You see everyone fighting for freedoms. Well, yeah, the Chinese just kind of held it out for a bit and just said, let's just see what happens. And also, no one ever talks about that Princess cruise ship. I mean, what a perfect testing ground. It all started like a petri dish. It's a scientific experiment. Anyway,